Hey, what is going on YouTube? It's me, Andrew here. Welcome to this video. Well, today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my top 5 tips that I've learned from my mentors about business. And yeah, so let's get into it. Tip number 1 I have for you guys that I've learned, and it's the most important lesson out of everything that I'm about to tell you, is to have patience. Basically, I learned this lesson when I was basically talking to one of my mentors, and I was talking to him about, growing my business and, like trying to scale and grow at an exponential rate. And he's like, basically, nothing happens overnight. It takes 10 years to become an overnight success. So every success story that you hear on the news or see on television or social media, that somebody's getting any level of success, it usually takes them 10 years to get there, to get to that level that they're at before you even hear about them. So behind every success story, there's 10, 15 years of work. And that, one of my other mentors mentioned the redwood tree. Basically, it's this really tall tree. It's one of the tallest trees in the world. And it starts off as a little sapling, as a little seed, and it starts to grow. So it doesn't grow overnight. It doesn't grow. It grows steadily and consistently. And it gets to that point that it is when it's fully grown. And yeah, so that's the first tip that I have, that I've learned, and it's really important because patience is key. Sometimes you might make a wrong business move because you don't have the patience to wait, or wait for the right circumstances before making a move. So patience is very important, because a lot of this business stuff, I realize, is that most of it is just a waiting game, and having patience and knowing when to move and when not to move, or meant to make a decision and when not to make a decision to do something or not. So have patience. Okay guys, so tip number 2 I have for you guys is to be a specialist, and not to be a jack of all trades. Now, this is a skill that I learned from 2 mentors. One of them is not really a mentor that I know in person. His name is Ty Turner. He has a channel which I'll link in the description, called Flashroom Academy. And I learned this from him, and previously, before I seen that he had a video on it, I learned this from another mentor when I was first starting out. So when I first started my business, I wanted to become a creative agency. So I wanted to offer services in photography, graphic design, web development, and video. And I realized that whenever somebody would go on my website, it would not lead to anything, because I realized that, like, trying to become a creative agency and trying to do so many different fields, even though they might be related in the sense that they're all done on a computer or with a camera, they're still different fields. And like trying to do too much is a real thing, because when you try to do too much, no one knows you for being good at any one specific thing. So yeah, figuring out that I do video, and in video I do mainly corporate commercial work, promotional videos, ads, Kickstarter videos, stuff that are meant to drive results and meant to help drive more business. That's what I focus on when it comes to video. Now, there's music videos, there's fashion videos, there's a whole bunch of other music videos that I can do, but I realized that my niche is to do corporate videos and videos that drive results. That's what I go by. So when I focused on, I trimmed out the fat, I cut out the graphic design, I cut out the photography, I cut out the web development, and I focused specifically on video, things started growing exponentially faster. And like Ty says, I'll link his channel in the description, but basically, sometimes you realize that you grow faster and you get more business by doing less, because sometimes you're focused and you're not doing too much, and you're able to focus on one area and do really well, and then hopefully expand into other areas when the time comes for that. So be a subject matter expert, like Ty was saying. Be a subject matter expert and not a jack of all trades, because no one really hires a jack of all trades for anything, right? So to be a jack of all trades, master of none, in certain situations can be beneficial, but in business, especially if you're trying to run a creative business, it's better to focus on a niche and really master that and grow that before you try to expand. Yeah, that is tip number 2. So tip number 3 I have for you guys is to do good work, because good work leads to more work. So I learned this from a mentor, and he told me that basically the key to growing any business, and especially growing a field where you're of service, is to provide good service and to do good work. Doing good work kind of does 2 things. It leads to more work from that client, and it leads to more work from other clients that the client might refer to you, and it also gives you a good reputation. So basically, having a good reputation and doing good work is very vital to to grow in a business. So tip number 4 I have for you guys that I've learned from my mentors about business is to have a great attitude. A great attitude is free, it costs nothing, and it has a lot of benefits, right? So having a great attitude, especially when you're working with clients, you're dealing with colleagues, you're dealing with team members, in your business, is very important, because people buy from people that they like, they know, and they trust, right? So if I know and I trust somebody, I'm more inclined to do more work and to hire them if I'm an employer, or if I'm trying to look for somebody to help me with a project. It doesn't matter about how good you are in your field. If you're not easy to get along with and easy to work with, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because nobody will want to work with you. So sometimes just having a good attitude gives you more business. Example would be, one time I took a trip to the DV shop, and I took an Uber driver. I took an Uber down there, and basically, I usually don't talk to Uber drivers, but I got into a conversation with the Uber driver, and his service was really good. And I got to the shop, it was pickup because of COVID, right? So I picked up my gear, and I told him, hey, listen, I'm gonna request you to take me back to my place. And I went on the Uber app, and I requested a ride back home from the shop. And I went home with my gear, but I gave him 2 trips. A trip to take me to the shop, and a trip to take me back, because he had a good attitude. I didn't want to ride with anybody else, because I liked riding with him, and I had a good time, and I had good customer service, and he had a really great attitude. So having a great attitude is very important. It can lead to opportunities that you might not even be thinking of. So having a great attitude is important. And then tip number 5 I have for you guys is that I've learned is that to be confident in yourself and be confident in your abilities, but also to realize that there's room for input from others and feedback. For example, myself, sometimes when I get input, I wanna make not an excuse. Well, it might be an excuse, but I'm extensive to give rebuttal and give retort and give rebuttal to it. But sometimes from one of my mentors that I've learned from, he mentioned that sometimes you just gotta take the input and offer solutions. So be confident in yourself, be able to realize that you can do what you're being hired to do. But if you're given feedback, take it and offer solutions to solve that problem, because a client comes to you for problems and they want you to solve it. So that is that. Those are the tips that I've learned, the top tips that I've learned. I've learned a lot more, but those are the top tips that I've learned about being in business. And hope you found these tips helpful. It's been Andrew here. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.